Hey everybody, so this is part 2 to my update on me receiving my new bridges from Ivoclar. These are, again, the Phonares teeth that I have here. This is what I've been going back and forth to Gainesville for since the beginning of last year. So this is part 2, and this is where I'm going to get into all the meat of everything on how this is going to affect you. How can you get something like this? Number one thing that people want to know about is how much does something like this cost? So one thing you have to keep in mind when you're talking about costs with anything dental related is that there's all kinds of variables involved, and that's just what it is. I mean, a lot of times we'll try to call a dentist and be like, can you give me a ballpark figure? And a lot of times they can't. I mean, you know that the average denture is going to cost anywhere from $1,000 to, up to $4,000. I've heard more, I've heard less, but I like to use between $1,000 and $4,000 for a set of dentures, depending on what kind of quality that you go with. But even still, there's all kinds of other conditions that come into play. Some cases are a lot more challenging when it comes to fitting for dentures, and it's just, yeah, it's hard to say how much things are going to cost. But if you want like a kind of an idea, my initial set of dentures that I got from Dr. Davis, my final, not my temporary, but my final set of dentures that I got from Dr. Davis, they were $2,500. That's how much they cost. I think I ended up paying like $2,250 for them. That was using the True Bite teeth and just regular, acrylic, nothing special, nothing fancy, $2,500 for that. And they looked great. They looked amazing. So if you were to get a set just like that, but only using Phonares teeth or, their processing and everything like that, it would probably only cost, it would come up to like maybe a couple $100 more. It's not that much of a price difference. Here's what it is right here. Dentists become, well, first of all, the dentist isn't making the denture in the first place. The lab is. Some practices have, in-house labs. They have their lab on site and that sort of thing. But the dentist is not making the dentures. So when they're writing up the prescription for your denture, because I don't know if I mentioned that or not, your dentist sends over a prescription for your denture. They write it up like a prescription for any other type of medication or whatever. And they're writing down the specs of your denture. They'll write like the shade on there, and they'll write like some measurements and stuff. Sometimes they don't even really have any accurate measurements. They're using just averages. A lot of dentists, they're not skilled in the whole denture making process. That's not really what they learned in dental school. They very briefly went over that. Unless they're continuing their education with more training courses and things like that, they're just not going to know as much about dentures and that process as like the lab technicians that actually make the dentures. So they're not specifying what kind of teeth to use. And so since they're not specifying what to use for you, the lab is going to use what they deem necessary, what they have on site. Maybe they have a lot of the True Bite teeth on stock. I mean, that seems to be, the most common teeth available. And you got to consider, if they've been doing this for like, 20 to 30 years, you get kind of used to stuff. You get used to the brands that you use. And a lot of times they don't really veer off to other brands. And so if you want the Phonares teeth, you have to specifically ask your dentist and just say, hey, I saw some videos online. I saw a girl named Kellen Jacks. She does videos on YouTube about dentures, and she just got Ivoclar's Phonares teeth for her dentures. Would it be possible to get that for mine? And all they have to do is write that up in the prescription. It's not different the way that these teeth are placed. They're placed just like these teeth are. It's the same way that you make the denture. There's nothing, spectacular about how they make them. It's all about the dentist requesting that from the lab technician. And the lab is just going to order these. They're going to order the Phonares teeth and use those in lieu of these. And it's as simple as that. It's not a complicated process at all. But then, these look amazing because I had amazing lab technicians doing the work. They were very skilled. They had a lot of experience. If you go over to Ivoclar's website, they have it's morethanAdenture.com. They have a list of Ivoclar approved labs that specialize in Ivoclar's, materials, whatever, and there's like a drop down menu if they do the processing with Ivocap or Ivobase. So you'd get, a more natural looking acrylic, gum area. So this isn't something that's out of reach at all. This is well within reach. This is totally feasible if you're a denture wearer, or if you're about to become a denture wearer, if you're looking to get a new set of dentures, regardless of what the circumstances are. These are completely accessible to you. This isn't something that was exclusive just to, if you can afford it or if you can find somebody to do it. It's all about just asking your dentist, hey, would you mind getting the lab to use Phonares teeth for my denture? It's that simple. Cost wise, just maybe a couple $100 more. It's not that complicated, and that's why I'm so glad that I did this, because how many of us know that? A lot of us don't know that it's as easy as that. I remember when I was looking into getting my dentures, I was Googling cosmetic dentures, and I'd see teeth like this, but I'd have no idea how to go about getting them. This is how you get them. You have to know what the teeth are, what brands they are, and how they're processed, what materials are used and everything, and just request it from your dentist. Don't just take what they give you. You have to ask for that. And that's kind of why Ivoclar used me, and they made me a new set of teeth so that I could learn that. They've been educating me this whole entire time on how to get what you want from the dentist, because you're the one that's going to be wearing these. That's kind of why they named their website morethanAdenture.com, because they know that it's more than a denture. It's these, I hear a lot of dentists referring to these as appliances, or what have you, and that just sounds so crazy to me, because we know this is our smile. This isn't just a denture. It's not an appliance. It is our smile. It becomes very much a part of you, a part of how you see yourself, a part of how the world sees you. It's a very important thing. And why take what you can get when you can get what you want? And so that's why I'm just glad that I've been able to be in this position to do this and share that with you guys. So that pretty much sums it up. The cost is on point, not very far off from what you would spend on regular teeth that the dental lab uses. Are they accessible? Yes, it's as easy as requesting them from your dentist. When he writes over the prescription, just make sure that he includes to use the Phonares teeth, and if possible, the Ivocap or Ivobase processing for the acrylic. And that's that. That's how you can end up with something like this. So I hope that this was informative. I hope that you all kind of understand why I did this. I'm glad I did it, because now I've got an amazing set of teeth too. And I feel very confident with these. It's incredible how real they look, and it just makes me feel that much better about myself. And that I've been happy about every single set that I've had, because from my temporary set of dentures to the final set of dentures to the bridges that I got from Dr. Golpa and these, every single one of those was way better than where I came from with my natural teeth. And I've always stepped up. I've always, I've consistently gotten better and better, and you can do the same. This is not something that's exclusive to me. This isn't out of reach. This is well within reach for you. And why not? This is what my whole channel is about. If you have to lose your teeth, if you have to become a denture wearer, there's so many options that are out there that you don't have to lose your dignity along with it, and you can still have hope to lead an even better life than before, better quality of life, feel better about yourself, and hey, that works for everybody. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you leave it in the comments section below, and make sure that you go over and follow my Instagram. That's where you'll get all of my updates between video postings and everything like that. And yeah, if you have any other questions, you can always email me at cal32205@gmail.com. That's KAL 32205@gmail.com. And then quick announcements, my website, iweardentures.com, is almost finished being redesigned. That is going to be a really big resource for you guys. I'm going to be regularly contributing content there. So keep checking back for that. It's iweardentures.com. And I'll do a video whenever it's up and running, and I've got some new content over there, so you can check that out. Another thing is that I was just able to do an interview with Dr. Howard Farron. He is the founder and CEO of Dental Town. Dental Town's basically a community for dental professionals where they can go online and just kind of talk about all things dental related. Toss around different ideas and techniques, and just a networking resource for dentists. And so it was super special that I was able to get on there on his podcast, me, just an everyday patient, and I'm able to talk to these dentists and tell them how life is from the other end of the spectrum as a patient, and how the dentist can better connect with the patient, just making it a lot easier for us to get through this process. So I will update more. That's not going to be out anytime soon. That'll be out next month. And there's also going to be an article in his magazine, his Dental Town magazine, about my story. And so, like I said, with my next video that I put out, I will give more information as that date draws near, so you can go and cheer me on for that. And I just, I'm super excited of all the things that are going on. I feel like, people are becoming a lot more educated on all of this, and we're just going to have even better experiences from here on out because we are educating ourselves. So with all that being said, you guys take care.